Hello and welcome on our new channel Bad Influence here on Odysee.com, and we are in a huge industrial hall today and we will try to find out what it was before. In Germany they even use masks when visiting abandoned places, and this here could have been offices, so maybe we'll find some papers. Germany is a country which likes papers and if they begin to digitalize, we will have the problem that without the computer we will not be able to view their files anymore. Please pull. Okay, this is an empty room, and this here on the wall was to damp the sound. I guess it was very loud in the hall, so they used this to have less noise in here in the office. Here a homeless may have been living from time to time. Maybe he even made a fire, but there are no papers anymore. We will have to explore the rest of the hall. So we were right, these were the offices. It's written Master's Office of the Rope Makers. Second door on the left, and then somebody corrected into first door at the left. So this could have been a factory for ropes. And here it seems to be part of a vending machine for drinks, because they have lemon tea and orange, and this is for washing the cups. I don't know where the drinks could have come from. So here was a locksmith or metal worker also, and washing facilities as well. So the rope makers and the locksmith and the washing facilities probably only were part of this plant. So these might have been some steps in the production process. So it doesn't really tell us what they really were producing here, because ropes, for example, might only be a part of the product. These are old deposit bottles, one-way bottles and cans. After they have been made more compact, that's what they do in the supermarket. If you bring your deposit bottles and cans back, then they complete them to make them very thin. And it seems that somebody has just thrown the container of a supermarket here, or its content at least. This is an old sign from 1999 which describes a production process for oil filters. But now these are pieces of glass you could use in a barefoot, yes, in a barefoot park.
Ist das nicht Plastik?
No, this is glass.
Echt? Ich dachte, das ist Plastik. Zeig mal her.
Oh no, it's plastic.
Ja, eben.
It's not glass, it's plastic.
Ja.
Yes, you're right. It's plastic from the bottles. So this is the next step. The first step is compacting the bottles and the cans. And then the second step, they shred the bottles, and these are plastic parts, so it's a PET. But nevertheless, you could use it in a barefoot park. These are these parks where people go barefoot and they have different surfaces on the floor.
The whole world is a barefoot park.
That's right. We don't need such parks. We just go barefoot everywhere. But it's curious that you can make a video about garbage in an abandoned place. It will not always be such interesting as that, because if somebody throws his usual garbage into an abandoned place, there's nothing to report about. But this trash from the supermarket is quite interesting, because it's not usual that you find supermarket waste in an abandoned place, unless the place hasn't been a supermarket before or a recycling company. Now we found shoes, as every time in abandoned places there are shoes.
My feet are too large.
Yes, because you're barefooting so much,
Yeah.
then your feet become larger and you can't wear these shoes anymore,
Yeah,
which doesn't look nice.
nice.
Not at all. But maybe some people like it.
Yeah, but it's not
I don't. But it's your size.
Yeah, but my feet are too
Large. Large.
large. Yeah, and
These are not, this is not the appropriate footwear for visiting abandoned places.
do you like?
No. So this elevator can be used until 3,000 kilograms of weight, but for persons it's forbidden to use it. And here you have the regulations for the elevators. In Germany they have regulations for everything. This may be the papers of the homeless person. Maybe. This is a bit spooky, because if it's dark in here you could think that a ghost is hanging on the ceiling, especially if you believe in ghosts and these kind of ghosts. So let's go to the next building.
Do you want to run?
No?
I need shoes.
It's very dusty here. Here you have these typical shed roofs. So you see from one side you have windows, which leads to more light in the production hall compared to conventional roofs. So now we are here in this second hall. I think it's darker in here than I expected. And here you have the windows on the roof. Maybe they used these halls as a storage for waste, and they left some waste here because it was too complicated to get it out of these channels here on the floor. The next check should have been in 21 in October, so maybe this isn't left for a long time. I think they reused these halls to put garbage in it. That's my theory for the moment. But you also had a laboratory in here. And here, big bag, but they put a sticker on the word Waage, which is German for balance or scales. And this was the room with the word laboratory on the door. But you have nothing of the lab left here. This is also just an empty room. This was a dispenser for soap and this for paper towels, but the sink isn't here anymore. And here you have some formula. But unfortunately you don't know what it refers to. To calculate the parts per million of foreign substances, please sort correctly by numbers. So now I think that this was a plant where they recovered old plastics. I don't know if smoking is allowed in here. At least smoking is stupid, I wouldn't recommend that. So here I don't know what PO is, but Etiketten are labels and you had to take the labels immediately out of here. I don't know why. I don't know what is the problem with these labels. And here you had a toilet.
There is a very old yellow shower, a metal shower.
Ah, okay. And here also was a toilet. Oh, you found some powder. Is there written what it was?
Don't know.
Straight, cylindrical.
Pitch power.
And the other one, there's no label anymore?
No.
That's because you have to bring out immediately the labels. That was written there on the sign. And that's why one of the containers doesn't have a label anymore. Do you see that? There are holes in the wall and the daylight is coming in. If you miss your newspaper, then maybe it's because the newspaper boy put them all here. I have to watch out if it continues here. It's a bigger basement. I'm not sure if we will find something interesting in here, but these were storage rooms. It's a storage for steel products, like this wire here, or these metal plates here.
Stahllager. 77.
But you can't really read what was written there. Yeah, that's a book where they documented what they storaged here. It's from 1977 and it was all handwritten. So there was a person called Sick, or he was sick. I don't know why it's written here every time. We don't know if it's a name.
Hier, da.
These are the names of the persons, and they were all sick. You could think that there was the pandemic or something. I don't know what these are. Some cylindric things, and there are plenty of them. So here in the other room there is a desk. This is a spider hammock. Spider webs in the form of a hammock. These are some chairs or armchairs.
Oh, maybe I'm rich now. I'm rich.
Yes, if it has a value, then yes. What's that?
There are numbers.
Jackets for protection against acids, and pants for protection against acids, and shirts and rubber boots, or gum boots, or wellies as they are sometimes called. And then you have felt socks and rubber shoes. That's what they wore here to be protected against chemicals. And here you have such gum boots or rubber boots, and there is even water in it, so you see that they really are impermeable. The water doesn't come out. Anti-fungus, which I don't believe. If the water doesn't come out, then the sweat of your feet also doesn't get out. And maybe they put a chemical in against fungus. And here are even more of these plates everywhere on the floor. S515. So maybe this was an article number. Here's another one. It's 539. And here it's S516 again. Maybe they put the plates on products they produced here.
Hey, bin ich erschrocken.
Hello.
Hello, and
I'm Molly.
and this is Greta. And you are from the famous German exploring channel Lost Adventure Hunting.
Ja, so ungefähr.
Welcome on my new channel, Bad Influence. Glad to have you here. You are also exploring on flip-flops.
Ja, heute schlappen, ne?
And this is a vacuum cleaner. An old telephone book where you find lots of telephone numbers. This is an old newspaper from 1985 when it costed 40 Pfennig, 0.4 Deutschmark. And you have an old magazine here.
It's Lillian Müller. 1975, ja, auf Englisch. 1975.
And this is even from 1987. The interesting thing about this child toy, this plastic truck here, are the pentagrams in the wheels. That's quite spooky. All in all, it's an interesting room because it has so many aspects, if you want. Here it was a storage room, and they have their newspapers there and some coffee there, coffee powder. And here there's a working space with some posters. These are feed for those who like feed. Here also, by the way, free time quality. I don't know what free time quality is. Is it a lower quality than the industrial one, or what is it? By the way, these birds may be also barefoot. We don't know.
It's funny because it's a etui for glasses, but it's so big. I thought first it's for smartphones.
Okay, because smartphones become bigger and bigger nowadays.
But it's for glasses.
By the way, I don't like that. I don't like these big phablets, phone tablets, because they need too much space in your hand and in your pocket. This is a very old locker with damaged doors. And here are even more. So you could call this a locker room, but this seems to be also a multifunctional room where they also storage other things. Another storage room. I think it will not last any longer until they collapse. Here we have an old can with the orange lemonade, which I know from my childhood. So this must be, it's even from the 80s, you see. There is a best before date of 89. These are empty cases for switches, 1988. So that's why there is this lemonade can from also 88 and best before 89. So that absolutely fits. So there's a new exit or an old exit renewed. Tubes here for the pressure and for fresh water. These are more rests of old tubes here. What is this here? It's also very rusty. There may have been a liquid in here. I don't know what. Maybe acid. And you need your rubber boots for the acid here. And I have no rubber boots. I don't even have shoes. So I hope there will be no acid anymore on the floor. There's just a tube going through our way, and they put a ladder on it to climb over. But I have a problem with the ceiling now because I'm too big for that, too tall. That's the disadvantage when you are tall. You always risk to hit your head. And then you have another tube to overclimb. And we have 0 bar. There's no pressure in it here. I think it's a good sign. That's the light for the tunnel and for the water container. So it was a water container, probably. And here you could measure the fresh water. The problem is that I can't translate these words here because I don't know what they mean. It's German, but as I don't know what a Drahtzug is, for example, I'm not able to translate it. Now I've looked it up in a dictionary. So Drahtzug means wire drawing, but I still don't know what wire drawing is. So you can write it into the comments down below if you know it. And here we have some rusty metal again. That's happening if metal becomes wet all the time. And here we have new deposit bottles. So as far as we know, this was a plastic plant where they recycled plastic to make new things about it, or out of it, or even to sell the material to other plants who produce plastic products. Ich glaube, man hätte that sagen müssen. So these were old offices here, I guess, and they even filtered the air here. Maybe it was bad air from the factory, or maybe it was very hot here in the summer. Because even now it's quite hot and it's only the beginning of May. There's an old switch here, or even two. And it's a long time ago that they cleaned their floors for the last time. It's really dusty here. What do we have here? We have a toilet and a urinal, which is broken. It's always the same in Germany. If you want to go to such a urinal, it's broken. There's written out of order the whole time in Germany. Because it's a second world country here. Everything is broken. That's also interesting. You see how the paint is going down. Here you have a switch for Sunday lamps. So they had a special illumination for Sundays. Maybe they didn't work on Sundays. Very probably they didn't work on Sundays, but they nevertheless had some light in here in the hall when it was Sunday. Maybe for the security guards so that they can see anything. And this was the switch you have to turn on Saturday evening. Nowadays in a factory you would also have a mask mandate sign here, and maybe also a shoe mandate. But as you can see, shoes aren't really necessary. Molly just told us that several weeks ago this clock was still intact and now it's already vandalized. That's typical for Germany. Very sad.
Nein! Danger!
Danger. Oh, look how dusty it is here. That's why a mask mandate maybe would be a good idea to wear a mask against the dust here. Oh, they also have barbed wire here. That's not very nice. Here you have to watch your step. So they leave their can with the energy drink here, which isn't very good because it doesn't fit, but it's empty, so it doesn't matter. Because in this room you are not allowed to bring food and beverages in. So this is a very modern hall. Mostly blue, but also some orange. I think it's a nice choice of a color here. And this was a crane here, and you have the hooks hanging there. There you have some big gates, GHJKL, where the trucks came in. And here you can see the construction year, it's 1991. So this is the last one of these halls, and now we will have a little bunker which we can show you in the end of this video. So this designates the number of the bunker from the Second World War, but it's only a small bunker, as you will see now. So where was it? Was it upstairs or there? So here you weren't allowed to put material which is inflammable. Yeah, this was an old bunker here. It's quite unspectacular. This was an entry here, an entrance. Probably. Okay. Yeah, but it's very stable at least. You can see the walls are quite stable. That was all from that bunker and from the old recycling factory or whatever it was before. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to our new channel Bad Influence. Thanks for watching, and see you soon here on our channel.